Hi there. Today's class, I'm just coming back from the confidence and articulation session that was to hold in the main campus in school by 11 o'clock a.m. And it was really nice. It was a very interactive class. It was engaging. I enjoyed the students too, and the participants too enjoyed it. So going on to, I said I'm going to make a session. This is the session for the persons that are far from the location that I choose. So I spoke on first and foremost, before starting everything, you should know that I myself speaking, teaching and still learning public speaking and communication. I'm still learning. I've also been in moments where I did not speak with so much clarity and structure, and I was interrupted, and so that is the main reason why I see this as a problem for students and beyond the school. So that's why I'm dedicated to make people become more structured and confident when speaking. So by the end of this program, you know how to speak with confidence, structure, and most importantly, clarity. So let's begin. I started with how to speak with structure, then going on to why you should start with the main point when speaking, and to speak with confidence, and the relevance of examples when speaking. And it was an interactive class. I asked questions. There were various practical session, demonstrations. There was a lot of demonstrations when I was teaching. So starting on with structure. Whenever you are speaking, it's very important to speak with structure. Take for instance, now you are asked, how do you perceive consistency? You start by saying consistency is being disciplined, being focused, and try as much as possible to always do that thing you set aside to do. So whenever you speak like this, it seems as if you are rambling, you are not really focused or structured. But when you speak with a framework like the PAE framework, P is for point, A is for analysis, then E is for examples or evidence. So the point, the P, I've been asked the question again. How do you perceive consistency? And I'll go by saying structure. Consistency determines progress. That's the point. Whatever you do continuously, over time, you get good at it. That's an analysis, that's an explanation. And going on to examples, I could start by saying a lecturer teaches a particular course to different students over and over again, to the extent that he knows this course like the back of his hands. So you see how I structure the point, the explanations, and then over to examples. This altogether gives you structure. Whenever you are speaking or you ask a question, answering like this will give you structure to make you look more understandable and look more reasonable when speaking. So in the session, I asked a participant to come out and answer a question in one sentence, and he tried, and I gave him his feedback. He was really confident, and I indicated the parts that he wasn't really good at, and he learned from it. So mind you, this video is going to be lengthy because I'm trying to put everything together. So now going on to the next, why you should always speak, starting with your main point. So you could see how I structured the definition of consistency. I started with the main point. So whenever you are speaking, starting with the main point is very important, so as to make your audience lean in to listen to you. Then whenever you start with the main point, then go on to explanations and then examples. So always start with the main point to make you look more understandable when speaking. So Now, going on to speaking with confidence. Whenever you are speaking, try to pause. Even when a question is being asked and you want to answer the question, do well to pause for some seconds before speaking. Pauses is very, very important because it makes your information understandable. When you pause after speaking, you pause again before going to the next sentence. It makes your information more understandable to the audience. So make sure to pause. And pauses also deletes what we call the filler words. When we say filler words, we mean words like like those are filler words. So whenever you are speaking, you're adding those words in duplicate. It makes you lose credibility. So the pauses helps you know how to delete those filler words. Those times where you want to add filler words, you could just pause, then continue again. It will make you look more sensible and structured. And whenever you are speaking, try to, as much as possible, to be clear and precise. Not use, some persons would want to use unfamiliar words. Words like, take for instance, you are saying consistency, it's iteration, alongside not being mediocre, alongside being rigorous. So you see how I'm playing with these words, it will make you confused. The listener will be confused. So whenever you are speaking, it's good to add unfamiliar words, educative and structured words, but do not make it the basis, the primary essence of this speaking. Do not put it everywhere. You should use simpler words in places so persons will understand what they are saying. Use this unfamiliar words a few times, then use the similar words, more precise and clear, so that people understand you. That's it. So make sure to use precise and familiar words for people to remember what you are saying. Now going on to examples, reason why you should always add examples. Like you could see when I was speaking about consistency and I said the point and explanation, then going on to examples. I said the teacher teaches you, lecturer teaches you, and you, to the extent that he knows the course like the back of his hands. Example makes serve as an evidence to make whatever you are saying, the logic you are speaking, understandable. It breaks down those complex logic to understandable form so that your audience will be able to understand what you are saying. So whenever you are speaking, make sure to always use examples to make your information more relatable and make it more understandable to the audience you're speaking. Examples, it builds credibility, it promotes clarity, and most importantly, it builds retention. People remember what you are saying from that examples. So whenever you are speaking, add examples. It will make people remember. When you want to try to remember something, they'll just think back to the example you've made, and automatically people can understand and remember what you are saying. So make sure to add examples when speaking. Now, I'm trying as much as possible to not make this video too long or lengthy. It's very lengthy. So going on to the last, always make sure to lean in your ability to speak. As examples, I have a framework that it helps you master public. It was an interactive class. After everything I spoke about, structure, confidence, speaking examples, my framework, and I was speaking about the framework again. I will go through the framework again. It's called the C framework. C is for clarity. Three C's. The first C is for clarity. Second C is for control. The third C is for connection. Clarity is all about knowing your message. Whenever you are speaking, before you speak, make sure you have the information to speak about. So a lot of persons want to speak, but they don't have the information. So all I'm saying, you should read, know your message they are trying to send. Clarity. Then the next, control. Control your voice and your presence. Train your voice and your presence. Whenever you are speaking, persons know the message, but they don't know how the anxiety and the fear won't allow them to speak properly. So I have an exercise that I give my students. It's a form of an assignment. You are going to record yourself record a video speaking on a topic called what do you learn from the whole session today? Communication. And how can you apply it to your life? What is the one thing you learned from the whole session today on this video, and how can you apply it to your life? When you're speaking like this, once you want to answer this question, you make a video and you use the PAE method to answer this question: the point, the analysis, that's the explanation, then the examples. So this video will make you become more articulate, become more confident in speaking, because there's no essence of learning public speaking and communication if you are not practicing it. So you need to be practicing it so as to make you understand and be good at what you are learning. So it was an interactive class, I said earlier. I asked questions, they asked me questions too, and I told them to come out and speak using the PAE framework. I asked them questions, so it was a nice class. So this was everything that happened. This was just the basics of public speaking and communication. I give them feedback. I encourage them. The place the part they did well, I give them their flowers. The part they did not do well, I try to encourage and try to fill in that gap too. We are all humans. Nobody's perfect. So the main focus is progress and to speak without fear. Clear communication has to do with speaking with structure, confidence, and being intentional. Speaking with purpose, not fear. So one thing to know about public speaking is to speak with clarity. You don't have fear when speaking. That's the main thing. So you are not perfect. So you're not going to be like a robot. So progress, not perfection. Yes, it's everything. So see you in the next session of the confidence and articulation session program. Bye.